Hello YouTube, welcome back to my games of anything realistically. This is Football Tactics. My name is JGashart99 and this is a game by Kraut Team. It came out on the iOS a few years ago as a downloadable. It wasn't continued on with funding and things like that, but it eventually got a Steam release on their green light system and they've brought it out on Steam on the PC. It's actually quite a decent little game. I'm just going to go through the tutorial match and show you how it is, and then I'm going to create my team and all that sort of stuff, and I'm going to make it up and hopefully make a pretty good series out of it. It's not a bad little game. It's kind of like a little tactic style game with how you want to play. I'm a big football fan, as people probably know on my channel. I've done things like Sensible Soccer and things like that. Really am a huge fan of those sort of games. Love Sensible Soccer. But so this is basically how the game works. You click on your character you want to use. You've got 3 moves per section. So obviously I've got 3 moves to do on mine, then 3 moves to theirs, and so on and so on, and it moves back and forth. So we're just going to get on with this and just do what it basically says here. It says we can do a lofted pass, and then we can tap on him to do it, or what's it saying to do? Oh, tap off the action. Okay, so now I've got to flick onto this guy here. So it's telling me to click it again. So he's now controlled the ball. But what you'll notice as well, like if I actually click on this guy, his control's gone down. Now he's controlled the ball and things like that. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a like season wrap up of this game. We'll do a couple of seasons, see how we get on, see what sort of players we get, and see how good we get. So movement is basically click onto the square that you want and click twice to move to that square. If you want to shoot to the square you want to. Obviously, you need to get into range to shoot. To shoot basically the square that's near the goalkeeper is your shot. So that's your shot. Now the way that it works is it does your shooting skills or your accuracy skills against their defence. So the goalkeeper's got 30 defence, this guy's got 20 defence. This guy gets a small boost because he's in goalkeeper position, in his primary position, so he'll get a small boost. It's basically like rolling a dice. So I've got a potential of 91, so I roll 1 to 91 depending on what I get, depends on what I do. He's got a potential of rolling 1 to 20, he's got a potential of rolling 1 to 30. So I've got a potential of actually beating them by at least 60. Well, 40, it's about 41, so I'll click 91, they both rolled 1s and 1s, and there's the goal there. And that's pretty much how the game works. It's very like tactic style, where you move your characters around, but instead of getting magic and all that sort of balava, you end up with what we've got here. So defensively, it's pretty much their control skills against your defense. So that's pretty much how that works. For corner kicks, you'll put your defenders and attempt to push your opponents away from the ball area. They won't be able to receive the pass. Right, okay, so this is basically what I was saying about move the defender over to that one there. So basically, if you look at him, he's got a control of 46 against, if I put him down, against a control of 17. So I will be able to force him off the ball and move him into that position. So the ball comes to him, I should win that ball. So again, the similar sort of things happen. So put 2 more players into the box. So you find the ones with the best amount of control. There's a 52 there, there's a 41 there, there's a 59 there. So 59 onto this guy, and then I want to do maybe that onto there as well, just to give a bit more oomph there. So the corner comes in, I win the roll there. Corner comes in, I win the roll there. Goalkeeper gets the ball, so it's nice and easy. And that's pretty much how the game runs. It's very tactic orientated. It's a football game, and I love football games. I always have. So I'm just going to move down here, and that should be the end of the half, and probably the end of the tutorial from here. So actually, no, that's not the end of the tutorial. I guess we're going to do a second half. I've played this a little bit. I actually grabbed myself the demo and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really fun. I got into the 2nd season and the demo stopped, so it gives you a good amount of seasons before it actually stops. So you're all right there. Let's have a look. What we got here? We've got a pass of 23 through a 13 deflection. So you've got 15. Let's move up to here, and then we're going to move you into there and go from there. I like to shoot from here. I like to get into this position and then just smash it in. There we go. It's not always perfect, because obviously when you start off with the low-level characters, you've got to deal with age and things like that. The statistics are quite, to be honest with you, they're quite brutal. So at the start of the game, you end up with like people with like 11 accuracy and goalkeepers with like 22 block, and you're like, not much you can do about it. So that's the end of that. That's the end of the tutorial. It's quite easy. It's quite simple. You'll see me playing a bit more of this. So I'm going to create the team off screen. That is my episode 1 tutorial. Next episode is going to be the first game of the first season, and you're going to see my created team, all my players, all that sort of stuff. I'll do that sort of stuff. Do you know what? I might even do that as part of the tutorial. I'll do that as a team builder maybe, or something like that. So anyway, I will see you in the next part. It'll either be part 1 or it'll be game number 1 of the season, and you'll see all the players, the teams, the colours, the kits, all that sort of good stuff. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Hello, and so we're going to continue the tutorial. I didn't realise there's a second part of the tutorial. I thought that was the main piece. So we're just going to carry on from here. So here we go. The button with the team logo and green tag will take you to the team management window. Press the logo button now. So you click on this one and it takes you to the squad menu. So it gives you the squad menu. In this window you can edit your team's roster and formation. So, right, let me just give you the rundown of the statistics here. So I'll put this as part of the tutorial. The tutorial is quite short. Okay, accuracy is your shooting stat. So the higher you're shooting is the better off you are. And that's pretty much it. So accuracy is for shooting, passing is obviously for passing. So what you really want for defense, you really want high defense, medium control, medium passing. That's pretty much what you want there. Just remember that another thing you can have here is the players don't have to play in the positions that you have. So say for instance, if you've got a midfielder that's really good at shooting, really good at passing, you can put him as an attacking midfielder and he will be able to spray the ball around or even get into those positions where you can just take that fire off long shot. As long as they've got good shooting stats, like this guy here has got really good shooting stat. Sorry, no, really good passing, sorry. No, none of these are really good. But again, you might find like a striker here with like 28 accuracy and say 21 passing, and he'll be able to shoot from say here and still be able to score and things like that and get good stats on the shot. So say for instance this goalkeeper's really good at passing, so he could be a pretty decent midfielder because his passing is insane, his defence is good, but you might find that this goalkeeper has got better defence, so you might put this goalkeeper in here and put this goalkeeper in centre midfield because he's got good defence, good passing, but his control is garbage. So he won't be able to hold on to the ball for very long. So defence is obviously defensive and goalkeeping stats. All of your goalkeeping roles is done via your defence. So that's pretty much how that works. Pretty much the same thing here. So all defensive roles and passing roles. Control is pretty much how you can hold on to the ball, how well you hold on to the ball. So good control is very good for midfielders, good for defenders, just in case you end up in this sort of area here in no man's land and you're going to probably get hit by 2 or 3 people. So realistically you want good defenders, good passing to get it out of the defensive areas and up here into the good place. So that's pretty much what you want to do. So we're going to continue here. So it's asking me to go back and to check that out. So I'm just going to go back into the screen and show you some more bits and bobs while you're doing this one. Okay, training. Now training, obviously you want to train certain attributes. As you level, depending on what the specific player is good at, those stats go up further than what you've trained for. So say for instance I want this goalkeeper doing, instead of defense, I want him to do say passing. For instance, I can change that and he'll get extra points in passing when he levels up. And also he'll get extra points in different stats depending on what he's good at. So what I mean by what he's good at, he may be selected as a goalkeeper, but as I said, you can move positions. So he doesn't have to remain as a goalkeeper. You can go as a midfielder and then you basically increase his control. So you have a good passer, a good defender, and a good control midfielder. So he can sit in the holding position in midfield and be quite decent, even though his original position was actually goalkeeper, if that makes sense to you. Hopefully it does. So the other important thing is your skills and talents. Each player has a skill and talent ability. This guy is 29 years old. His skills and talents, he actually has the ability to use 2 different skills, whereas these guys, most of them have the ability to only use 1. On this here, basically, sliding tackle, this is basically asking me to upgrade from level 1 sliding tackle to level 2 sliding tackle. All that means is that I can use the sliding tackle ability twice per game. But if I'm honest with you, I hardly ever use it, so I'll keep quiet about that one. It's not that great. The next thing you got to look at here is age. As you get past the 30s, so high 20s, early 30s, you're okay to continue playing. But once you reach about 34, your stats take a dramatic drop in ability. It really does. It falls really fast, really hard. So you've got to be careful with what the players, obviously playing off screen for a little bit, I kind of know what's going on. The nice thing here is I've got 3 really young players I don't actually know their stats, but I'll look into those off screen and I'll tell you how good they are. But again, I've got one really, really young striker here, one medium to young striker here. I've got two really young rookies here in midfield, both quite good levels. 15 and 16 is pretty decent. So he's only 3 levels from his first talent, and he's 2 levels from his first talent. So that's pretty decent. Defenders, I'm fine here. Definitely fine here. So 28, 29, 29 is good. Levels aren't so great, but it's still decent. I know their stats are quite good because I saw them. What do we got next? Let's go through the skills. Okay, so this guy has got the nutmeg ability. As you can see, I've got a left click and hold, and it says skill nutmeg. Football tricks the ball through the legs of the opponent directly before him and quickly runs around 1 or 2 tiles. Forwards can use this skill to get closer to the opponent's goal. So that tells me that this defender can play as a forward if I wanted him to. Now, obviously, it depends on what I want to do with him, what his stats are, how old he is. Because I could wait for him to hit level 30 and possibly give him a defensive skill like slide tackle or long pass, things like that. So, or maple leap, things like that. So they're all pretty decent for defenders. You don't have to select this skill. This is just a freebie skill. Now, there is a reason to learn these, and I'll explain why in a moment. It's about the trading in the game, and I'll show you that in a bit. So let's go on to the next things. So obviously this one here's the upgrade. So upgrade your stadium size costs money, just a 5,000 to increase to 500. Obviously the more fans you have, the more money you generate over time. Next one is the first team coach. Now the coach will basically allow you to have younger players that come up in your transfer market. So the younger they are, the more you can train them depending on their level. If their level is high, it's good because you can increase their stats quicker. Sorry, no, if their level is high, they have traits and stuff that you can automatically access straight away. And normally they're quite good in like forward positions or midfielding positions. Their stats are quite high. If their stats are low, you can really manipulate what they can do and position them wherever you want, depending on how they naturally advance. Right, your second scout is basically how many people you can have in your transfer market. So you get 10 guys, and then you go to 13 if you upgrade, which costs 30 of these banners, which you get when you win games and things like that. So your major assistance basically allows EXP to your bench players. So at the moment, nothing gets given to the bench players, but if you upgrade it once, it's 5%. So this could be pretty decent if you've got a really young bench that you want upgrading a constant rate. And to be honest with you, depending on my stats on my players, I may upgrade this early. So obviously the next lot of coaches dedicate an additional percentage of stats to their respective areas. So goalkeeper coach, defender coach, midfielder coach, and forward coach. So that's pretty much how that works. And obviously the club is to readjust. And by the way, if you didn't already notice, we are the London Orient. Being a Leyton Orient fan, as you guys may have noticed on my Sensible Soccer playthrough, I played as Leyton Orient and I mirrored most of the games. Unfortunately, I kind of stopped. Just, work got in the way, things like that. I just couldn't keep up with it. It was just too long. Okay, so back to the main screen. What you can do also on this game is you can check your opponent and readjust your positions to counteract them. Now, I've got my own formation that I really like, and I got really into it, so I was quite happy with the formation that I had, and I'm probably going to use that formation again. I'll show you that on the game one. We'll go from there. So as you can see, most of the teams that we're going to be playing against are quite low stats. Some of my guys were really good, so I'm quite happy we rolled quite nicely there. So we're going to go to this one. Welcome to the new coach. Congratulations on being appointed the new general manager of London Orient Football Club. Our club has been a perennial bottom feeder in the country. We've hired you to lead London Orient FC from the amateur to the Premier League, win matches to increase the team's rank and attract new fans, score as many goals as possible in every game to earn fame. We are counting on you. Your fame is actually this thing up here, by the way. I didn't actually know, I just did the banners. So right, we go to the transfers, and here we go. This is the transfer market. So the younger the player is, the more expensive they're going to cost. As always, this goalkeeper's quite young. He's got good accuracy, good passing, good defending, garbage control. So it is what it is. He's level 2, so that's not too bad. We've got level 1, 27-year-old, which isn't very good. He's quite cheap, but depending on how quickly he levels, he could be absolutely garbage, but then he could be absolutely fantastic. So we've got a level 11 striker down the bottom here for 5k. He's 28 years old. They're still quite young. That's not too bad. I've had some of them be like 31 years old and costing like this dude here 289. It's garbage. Level 3, 29 years old. He may level up once in a game, so he's going to be pretty garbage right from the start. But I'll go through and I'll find the ones that I want, I'll pick them off, and I'll show you guys in another video, probably in the first game, what I've picked off and what I like. So at the moment, where else do I want to go? I think that's pretty much it for here. And obviously we've got the tables here, so it allows you to see the tables and the people we'll be facing against. And then a Prestige Cup, when that comes up available, it comes up. The calendar is, as always with any football game, you'll see the calendar as it is. Fatigue is in the game, so are injuries, so you've got to keep your eye out for those. And obviously we'll go from there. Now, my format for the games, I think I'm going to do 1 or 2 games per video, depending on how long the games take, because the games can take a little bit of time depending on the thinking process that I've got in my mind. So it just depends on how I'm doing and what I'm going to be doing again. So this is, as always, this is SJGazhan99 Football Tactics. I'm going to get into this one, start recording some games, get them up on YouTube, get you guys your thoughts and what you think of the game. I quite enjoy it. It's quite a fun little game. If you like those tactic styles games, it's really quite enjoyable once you get right into the game and the stats and min-maxing and things like that. It's really, really quite a sweet game. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you at game number 1 against Crew FC. Take care.